What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, welcome back to another episode. Today is going to be a real important episode, and I'm glad you're all listening. We're going to talk about imposter syndrome, and in particular with knowing how to navigate that feeling of inability or the feeling of unworthiness, because that happens, right? Especially if you're in a season where you're really trying to level up, whether that's in your career, your business, your relationships, your health goals. You should actually expect that you're going to feel resistance from time to time because you've never done what you're pushing to do right now. So the purpose of this episode is to remind you or show you why and how you are capable of making that dream or goal a reality, and or that you are capable of making progress in the right direction. So let's dive in. And first, let me read you the definition of imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a quote-unquote fraud. Despite external evidence of their competence, those experiencing this phenomenon remain convinced that they are frauds and do not deserve all they have achieved. They incorrectly attribute their success to luck or interpret it as a result of deceiving others into thinking they are more intelligent than they perceive themselves to be. So first of all, I don't know about you, but reading that definition was a lot for me to unpack. So much of that is a reflection of how I can be too often. And I definitely need to, continue to work on myself and look in the mirror and improve on this, because that's a lot, right? A lot of people, and studies show, especially in women, experience this. People feel like they don't deserve a certain success for whatever reason, or they don't actually call their shot because they're scared it might actually work out and give them a larger burden of responsibilities and expectations placed on them. Or they're scared of other folks seeing it not work out for them, because underneath it all, they can feel like they aren't actually worthy of success, or that they don't think they're capable of becoming that person who can achieve those things they want to achieve. And I hear a lot of folks talk like this. And tell me if this sounds familiar. They say things like, oh, good for her, but I could never do that. Oh, well, she can do it because of XYZ, but I can't do that because I don't have XYZ. And the thing is, we forget that everybody sucks when they first start something. Everybody has to navigate through these feelings of imposter syndrome. And another thing, and maybe you can connect with this too, is we start to feel like imposters when we actually start to see some success in something. And we literally forget that we earned it. We earned the progress we're making. And instead, we start to question ourselves, and we start to self-sabotage because we know we've never been at this level before and we don't know how to handle it yet. We don't have the skills to handle it. So we say things like, oh, I'm just not capable of it, or I've never gone beyond this point. So maybe I should just throw in the towel now. And a lot of this is in our subconscious, right? And there are so many directions I could take this episode, but I want to leave you with the reminder of how much control you actually have. Yes, there is a lot in this world that we can't control, but we can control our thoughts, which then drive our behaviors and actions. And we can control how intentional we are with controlling our negative thoughts and calling out our BS when it comes to us validating those negative thoughts, those thoughts about who we are and what our capabilities are and are not. And one thing I want us to do, which I think is really, really important, is to not think of this imposter syndrome as a completely negative thing. I think it's important for us to realize that the reason we're having these imposter thoughts in our head is because we're trying to go after things we've never done before. And if you are having these thoughts while you're working towards it, that means that you are literally in the process of leveling up to the next level, to the next version of you. And you have to expect that these thoughts and feelings are going to pop up and that we should actually celebrate it, because that means that you're actually right where you need to be. You're becoming that person, and the imposter syndrome is getting you on track to getting you to where you want to go. It's part of the process, but you have to push through it. And know that as you're on this journey and you feel like an imposter, or you feel like somebody's going to find out that you're a quote unquote fraud and that you may not be qualified, know that by you putting in this work and working towards more success, that this is the actual process in real time of you qualifying yourself. And when you're feeling like you're unworthy of success, or if you feel like you might not be able to handle it when it comes in, question those thoughts. Of course, you don't know if you can handle it or not yet because you've never been there. How could you understand if you can handle it or not? You're literally becoming that person right here, right now. Every single day you show up, every single minute you put into it, you're becoming the person that can handle it. And when you begin to ask yourself these questions, it's a very normal human thing to do. That's part of growth. That's part of chasing goals. And like I always say, success isn't linear. There's all kinds of twists and turns and a roller coaster. And with those turns comes the same kind of emotions you can expect to come with the roller coaster, right? All kinds of emotions. So what if you decided to change your thinking around this imposter syndrome? What if instead of resisting all the negative thoughts and feelings and telling yourself that you're not on the right track or that you're not capable, what if you get to a point mentally where you expect them to come and you say, okay, here it is. This is what I expected. I'm expecting the ups and downs. This is part of the journey. You have to recognize that you can't have highs without the lows, and you can't have the excitement and drive without being anxious sometimes. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's DARIUSDOTCH@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. And so when you expect all this, you won't be surprised when all those negative feelings arrive, even if they don't feel good, because this actually means you're on the right path, and that is totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just being human, being on a growth journey, and knowing that dealing with this now is going to further equip you for dealing with this in the future when you level up and reach even higher goals. Because the reality of it all is this is never going to go away. Because you're constantly going to be leveling up in your life, especially if you're the kind of person listening to a podcast like this right now. You are focused on personal growth. So know this: if you're in a season where you're lost, you feel like you don't know what you're doing right now, it doesn't mean that you are lost. It just means that you don't know where you're going yet. And the key word is yet. A lot of times, stress and anxiety comes when we want to know it all, right? We want to see this crystal clear path that we can follow step by step. But in reality, newness does not feel balanced. Handling something you've never done before won't feel natural, and you won't feel equipped. And elevating to the next level and doing something you've never done before, it ain't always fun. And it feels like you're juggling too much, like you have one foot in quicksand and you're trying to juggle all these things in your life with the other foot on solid ground, which represents the old, simple, less complicated life. And you don't see how you can possibly keep that foot in the quicksand. It feels unstable, but it won't feel like that way forever. And let me tell you, it won't be because it'll get easier. Like I said, these feelings will come no matter what, but you'll get better at managing your perspective and expecting this contrast of feelings, right? And your toolbox for handling all these thoughts and feelings is going to grow as well. So when you feel imposter syndrome and you welcome it and you realize that it's normal and you don't tell yourself this BS story that you're on the wrong path and that you can't do it, and you figure out how to manage that anxiety, you'll be building up this mental toolbox for future moments just like this one. Bigger moments. And when I say bigger, I mean because you will have grown, which means that the stakes are going to be higher, right? Another thing, and I have to get better at this too, but along the way, take a moment to clap for yourself a little bit more, because you're doing a lot of hard work to be where you are right now and to get to where you want to go, right? Look for those reasons to congratulate yourself of why you are seeing success. When you feel this imposter syndrome, take some time and remind yourself that you're gracious, you're a good person, and you've been working your ass off to get to where you are now. And hell yes, you deserve this success you're seeing. Hell yes, you're qualified. You're qualifying yourself right now as we speak. You are putting in the work right now to become that woman or man who deserves that success. That success you've already had and the success you'll get if you keep going. Because you will. And be proud of that progress you're making. And remember, an imposter is someone who pretends to be someone else. But you can't be an imposter because it's just you. If you just keep showing up, keep taking it one day at a time, keep reminding yourself that it's not always going to be easy. It won't always be easy. We know that. And the question is, when are you proud of yourself for taking the easy route? When have you ever been proud of that? The easy route won't show you what you're truly capable of. So, from me to you, you got this. Keep going. Yes, you are. Yes, you can. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.